Big Che Beats.
Holler at me.
Oh, yo! We're back, part 2, or part 3, depending on which video you started with. But I'm assuming most of you are going to start this as part 2. So we're back. We're going to make the progress bar. We're going to finish the app up. We're going to make the label say something. Just before we start, make sure that the label up here is about 58, okay? So first thing we want to do is we're going to make sure that we connect the label. So we're just going to call this label message, connect it, okay? And first thing we need to do is we need to add a progress bar. So let's go up to our library and we're going to locate the progress view, okay? And what we're going to do is we're going to bring it down to the third view down here, so make sure you get it down here. And now we're going to have to lock it into place, okay? So a little bit kind of going back to the auto sizing and layout, we have to lock it into place. So we're going to come over here. We're going to make sure we horizontally and vertically set it in the container. And then after we do that, we're going to come over here and we're going to set the width. So I'm going to set the width to about 400. And I'm going to set the height to about 7. Make it a little bit thicker and have the bar go out a little bit more. Okay. Then I'm going to control click on the progress bar and I'm going to bring it up here. Make sure it says type UI progress view. Make sure it doesn't say something else. You could grab the constraints because you can program the constraints. Make sure that doesn't say constraints. Make sure it says UI progress view. We're just going to call it the progress bar. There's only one. We're going to connect the progress bar up there. Okay, so now we have the progress bar. Now we can also, if we notice, we have on the progress view, we can do the progress tint, the track tint. So the progress tint, if we change this to, I believe I can change this to green, that'll be as the bar moves across the screen based on the timer, it'll fill in. And then the track tint will be like the underlying time that it hasn't completed. So we'll just do green and red. You can make this any color you want. Remember, this is your part of your design. This is just making this as visually easy to see as possible. So we have a timer, or we have a progress bar. We have the timer set, and now we need to get this progress bar to work, okay? So first thing we're going to do is we are going to control everything about the progress bar inside here, okay? So we need to set up a formula to give the progress bar, and the progress bar runs on a decimal point, so from 0 to 1. So we got to set up the difference between seconds and seconds completed. So we're going to create a new const, or let's just call this, make it a variable. So var progress equals, and then we're going to do seconds completed divided by total seconds, okay? So that'll keep track of the decimal that we're going to need for the progress bar. The progress bar now is we're going to tap into it, progress bar, and we're going to go here and we're going to do dot progress. Progress is the main thing that we're tapping into, and we're going to have it equal progress, okay? Now we're going to get an error here. Now, the error says cannot assign value of type int to type float, replace progress with float progress. Now, this is not the correct fix here, but this around something is, okay? But it's not going to be around this one. What we actually have to do is we actually have to come up here and do it up here, okay? So we're going to come up here and we are going to float seconds completed, and we're going to float total seconds, okay? And now notice that that disappears. This has an error. I guess we should have done a constant. You can leave it as a variable, no big deal, Okay. And we're going to set that and run it and see if that works. And it's done. Go down here, progress bar restarts, so everything's working, and it goes. Perfect. Okay, so a couple small things that we want to do. We might want the label to tell us to choose a timer when we start the app and tell it to be done when we're done. So let's just fix those up. So up here, we could add an else to this. And we could tap into the label message. So label message dot text. And if you know how to do this stuff, you do not have to finish watching the video. So we're gonna do done. And we are also going to do label message dot adjust font size to width. We're going to have that be true, just in case our font size is too big. And then we're going to come down in here. We are going to set the label message at the beginning of the app to please, no, not capital, please choose your timer. Okay, and we are also going to take this piece of code and put it in here. And we're going to let's play. We're going to hit replace. We're going to hit succeed. And please choose your timer. Nice and fits right in there. Choose the pasta timer. Since this only takes 9 seconds, I don't want to waste your time too much. Done. Okay. Now, one last problem here is that when you want to reuse it, it still says done. Okay. So, last thing that we could do, just to finalize it, is we could set in here. We don't have to set it in here. We can just set it down here. Label message dot text equals cooking, and paste that label message true. One last time, folks, and this should be it. Oh, look at that. Oh, it's beautiful. It's beautiful. Let's go to pasta. Resets right in the middle of it because we didn't know what we were cooking at the time. We were trying to cook rice, but we meant pasta. Vice versa. Done. All right. The only things that you could do is, add a sound. You know how to do that. You could go and add a beeper or whatever other kind of sound you want to add into your app. And there you go. And that is a completed timer. You can create basically any kind of timer based on these videos now. So whatever kind of timer that you could dream up and you want to make an app out of, go for it. But you can also utilize the timer in other apps that might require you to count down a certain amount of time or whatever the case may be. Okay? I really hope you guys got a lot out of this. I really hope you enjoyed creating this. But I really feel like this kind of opens up a lot of stuff for you. So thank you once again for listening to Lane Vision and Mr. Lane doing his thing. You guys are a great audience, and have a great and wonderful rest of your day.